The motherboard is a large, flat board that connects all the other computer parts together. It has circuits and slots where you plug in the CPU, RAM, storage drives, and more. Think of it as the central hub where data travels between each part. The motherboard allows electricity and information to flow across the system, helping the computer function. Even though it's one of the most important components, it's often cheaper than parts like the processor or graphics card. The CPU, or central processing unit, is called the brain of the computer. It's a small square chip that fits into the motherboard and is usually covered by a cooling fan. The CPU handles all the thinking your computer does, like opening programs, typing words, loading websites, and running games. Every time you click or type, the CPU carries out the instructions. Most modern CPUs come with multiple cores, meaning they can perform many tasks at the same time. CPUs are one of the most powerful and expensive parts of a computer. Next is the GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit. It's also known as a graphics card. It looks like a rectangular board with a large chip in the middle, often with one or two fans. While the CPU handles logic and instructions, the GPU focuses on visuals. It processes images, videos, animations, and 3D graphics, making it important for gaming, video editing, and digital design. GPUs became common in the late 1990s and are now essential in many modern systems. Some computers use integrated graphics, where the GPU is built inside the CPU. This is cheaper and uses less power, but it's not strong enough for high-end gaming or heavy video editing. Dedicated GPUs, which are separate parts, are more powerful and faster, but also more expensive. The hard drive is where all your data is stored. It's a box-shaped metal part that holds your files, software, and operating system. Inside, it has spinning disks and a small arm that reads and writes data. Hard drives can hold large amounts of data, sometimes multiple terabytes. But they are slow because they use moving parts and transfer data through narrow cables. To help the computer work faster, we use RAM, or Random Access Memory. RAM is a temporary memory that stores the data your computer is using right now. It comes as thin rectangular sticks that plug into the motherboard. RAM doesn't keep data permanently. It gets erased when you shut down the computer. Think of your hard drive as a storage room and RAM as your desktop. You bring only the items you need right now onto your desk to work faster. The more RAM your system has, the more programs it can run smoothly at the same time. A better alternative to hard drives is the SSD, or solid-state drive. SSDs do the same job, storing files and programs, but they use memory chips instead of spinning disks. This makes SSDs faster, quieter, and more durable. They became popular in the 2010s and are now standard in many laptops and desktops. While SSDs cost more than hard drives, they offer much better speed and performance. To keep the computer running safely, especially when the CPU or GPU gets hot, we use cooling fans. These fans move hot air out of the case and bring in cooler air. Most computers have several fans, especially around the CPU and graphics card. If a computer gets too hot, it can slow down or even get damaged. High-end setups sometimes use liquid cooling systems for even better heat control. The power supply unit, or PSU, is a rectangular box that powers all the parts inside the computer. It takes electricity from your wall outlet and converts it into the lower voltage needed by the motherboard, drives, and other components. Without a power supply, nothing would work. In laptops, this job is done by the charger and internal battery, which lets you use the computer without being plugged into the wall. The wireless card is what allows your computer to connect to Wi-Fi. It's a small chip or plug-in card that receives signals from your internet router. Without it, the computer would need to use a physical Ethernet cable to connect to the internet. Most laptops have built-in wireless cards, but desktop PCs often need a separate one if Wi-Fi isn't built in. Finally, the case is the outer box that holds everything together. It protects the components and has vents to let air flow inside and keep things cool. Cases come in different shapes and sizes, from small, compact ones to large towers built for gaming or video work. Some cases are designed for quiet performance, others for better airflow, and some are focused on looks with lights and glass panels. Each of these components plays a specific role. The CPU handles thinking, the GPU takes care of visuals, the RAM stores short-term data, and the hard drive or SSD holds your files. The motherboard connects everything, while the power supply feeds electricity. Cooling fans keep the system safe, and the wireless card brings you online. All of it fits neatly inside the case. Understanding these parts gives you a clear picture of how your computer works. It's not magic. It's the result of smart design, electronics, and decades of development. From playing games to writing papers, streaming videos, or browsing the web, everything you do is made possible by this team of components working together.